So I got this comment from A. Ray, and it says, Luke, I have to mention the possibility of uneven distribution of weight with glass tanks on those shelves. And I'll be honest, at first I was just going to ignore this guy. I was like, whatever, they'll be fine. But then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, you know what? This guy's actually right. He's 100% right. That is a serious problem, and it could cause cracking of the glass tanks. So I took his suggestion. I went and I got some. It's not really plywood. It's like plywood, and I cut it to size. I had to cut like it almost fit to size without cutting, but I had to cut about an inch off of it. And I started putting it on the racks. And I actually decided to move the Goldfish from the 60-gallon tanks they were in all into one big 75-gallon tank over here on the right. I did that while I sized these pieces of wood to fit the racks. After enough of the water from the 60-gallon tanks had been pumped into the 75-gallon tank, I carefully transported all the Goldfish from the tanks they were in into the 75-gallon tank. And I'll be honest, I don't really know why I split them up between two 60-gallon tanks instead of just keeping them all in one. I'm already doing daily water changes on these tanks, and you can easily have 6 Goldfish in a 60-gallon tank if you're doing daily water changes on it. And now they're all going in a 75-gallon, and this is just going to make it a lot easier in terms of like treatments for the quarantine process. I'm not going to have to use as much salt. I'm not going to have to use as much methylene blue or whatever other medication and treatments I'm going to have to do to rid them of any and all potential parasites. So after I got some of the water in there, I topped it off with fresh water because I got to do my daily water changes on them, and then I redosed the salt, and then I got back to work. I redid all the airline tubings from the original 60-gallon tanks back into the 75-gallon tank, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to have 8 sponge filters hooked up to every single tank in here. It's always better to overfilter a tank than to underfilter it, and I am planning on slightly overstocking all my tanks I have in here. And overstocking your tanks is okay if also you overfilter them and over water change them. So that's my plan right now. I'm going to have 8 sponge filters on all these tanks, and I'm going to be doing water changes as much as I need to keep that nitrate level at an acceptable level. Throughout this entire process of getting the tanks onto these racks and putting the pieces of wood on these racks, I had my sister help me. So I always got to say thank you to her because she has a very busy job. She's a lawyer. She's a patent attorney. So she's always having to sort through patents and stuff. But I always go inside and yell for her. It's like, hey, I need help moving a tank. And she comes right outside and helps move a tank. So major thanks to the sister for that. But basically, I got the entire fish wall, or, wall of tanks done. I got 6 total tanks on here. I got 4 75-gallon tanks, and then I got 2 60-gallon tanks. I am thinking I might have to move the racking just a little bit lower for the bottom 60-gallon tank because it's kind of hard to access. It's kind of hard to put my arms in there and access that. That's about all the progress we have done for today. I also want to say thank you to everyone for 900,000 subscribers. We just hit that this morning. The next time we have a milestone celebration, we'll be at 1 million. I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. Thank you all. Y'all are the best. I'll see you next time. Luke Scully's out.